Good morning. This is the recommending committee for January 5th, 2026. Happy New Year. And we are officially called to order, and I will assume we are in compliance with the open meeting law.
Yes, we are.
Thank you so much. Item number 3 is public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, please come forward and state your name for the record. Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public comment period. Item number 4 is for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference to the November 17th, 2025 recommending committee. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
There's a motion to approve. Please vote and post, and that item passes. Moving on to item number 5, bill number 2025-41 for possible action amends LVMC 6.04.155 and 6.69.010 to update the definitions of the business licensing categories, transportation network company, and reflexology, respectively, to align with state law proposed by our community development director, Seth Floyd.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Seth Floyd, for the record. Yeah, this is very straightforward. All it does is add a reference in our code for Transportation Network Company to NRS Chapter 706A, so that the definition always tracks with state law. And then for, if I can flip the page here, for reflexology, it would just reference NRS Chapter 640C, and that's all it does.
Perfect. I don't have any questions. Are there any other questions up here? There is a question, please.
Thank you, Ms. MPT. Mr. Floyd, so Transportation Network Company, does that encapsulate even the autonomous vehicles that are now being offered to drive? We're seeing more and more, the different types of driverless vehicles. So I just wanted to kind of be clear for myself. Are they encapsulated, or do they have their own category? And by TNC, is it strictly just meaning then the Uber, the Lyfts? I'm just trying to get some clarity for us as we navigate the different modes of transportation in our city.
Good morning, Mayor Pro Tem, through you, Councilwoman. No, this one will not include those ones. We do have another ordinance we're drafting to include the autonomous vehicles and some of the digital platforms that are doing delivery services and those kinds of things. So this is going to be more the Uber and the Lyft.
Okay, so then the Zooks and the Vays and those then are in a separate category from TNCs.
Okay, I just lied. It does. They just texted me. It does include the autonomous vehicles, but the other one's going to have more clarifying language in it. So yes, the state did add this to it, so it will include it. I apologize.
And then TNCs are different from taxis too, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
And Seth, I'll just read since it's pretty short, the definition as it currently stands in state law says that a transportation network company or company means an entity that uses a digital network or software application service to connect a passenger to a driver or monitored autonomous vehicle provider who can provide transportation services to the passenger. And what the bill does mean is because we're tying our definition now to state law, if there is ever a state law change, to either add something, take something away, or clarify, we will always track with whatever state law is. So it'll keep us consistent without having to come back every time and do a new bill.
Okay, thank you.
That was a great question because I didn't even think about it, so smart. Any other questions? This is a public hearing. If anybody would like to comment. Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
There's a motion. Please vote and post. And that item, I believe, passes. Yep, there it is. And will be heard, let's see, I'll do that at the end. The item number 6 is bill number 2025-42 for possible action amends LVMC 6.02.150 to clarify the requirement that separate license or permits are needed for each assumed or fictitious business name that is associated with the business. This is proposed by Seth Floyd, our Director of Community Development.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, and I'm actually going to turn this one over to Darcy to explain what we're doing with this one.
Hi, Darcy Edelby, heard for the record. Yeah, so this one also is just clarifying language. We do require that every business that has a fictitious name have a business license. It was already in code. This is just making it cleaner because people use the names fictitious firm name and doing business as, so we added that in there so that it was very clear that each one would require a business license.
Thank you. This is a public hearing for anybody who would like to comment. Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public comment period. Are there any questions up here? Hearing and seeing none, we'll entertain a motion. There's a motion to approve. Please vote. And post. And that item passes. Moving on to item number 7, bill number 2025-43 for possible action, updates the description of certain city ward boundaries, wards 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, to reflect precinct number adjustments by the Clark County Election Department. This is proposed by our city clerk, Ms. Holmes.
And I'm going to take this one. This is Deputy City Attorney Jillian Block-Sagerblum for the record. This is just a housekeeping item. The Clark County Election Department periodically reviews and updates its list of election precincts, including the precincts that form the basis of the descriptions of the ward boundaries within the city of Las Vegas. So periodically, the Election Department will combine precincts or create new precincts based on population changes. These changes won't necessarily affect each ward in every cycle. And they're not a change in the ward boundaries, but are just a change in the way the precincts are described.
Very good, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a perfunctory question. How often does this happen?
This is Jillian Block-Sagerblum. I believe it happens every 2 years in the year prior to the next election. Yeah.
So they change fiddle with the precincts a little bit, and then we have to codify it at the city.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, seems clean.
Ms. Sagerboom, can I ask another question, or may I? What triggers, I guess, the adjustments for a precinct within the wards? Is this something more driven by the elections department and how they're going to continue to offer voting sites and centers to our community? Or is it more, because I don't know, it's the first time, I guess, that I sit on recommending and see it coming through. And so I just kind of was wondering what triggers the adjustment in the numbers of precincts within our wards. I don't remember it coming through before, so that's why I'm kind of wondering what changed this round. What kinds of adjustments are we seeing within our city boundaries that, so anyways, I just kind of want some more background just for my own information.
Yeah, this is Jillian Block-Sagerblum. These changes are based basically on population changes, like maybe an annexation or, population shifts, or, maybe a precinct is removed from the list because it's no longer in use, but it's all just shifts within the boundaries that are already determined. So it's basically like housekeeping for population shifts.
This is a public hearing for anybody who would like to comment. Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public comment period, and I'll entertain a motion unless there are other questions.
Move to approve agenda item 7.
There's a motion to approve. Please vote and post. And that item passes. And moving on to item number 8, bill number 2025-44 for possible action, an ordinance authorizing the issuance by the city of Las Vegas, Nevada, various purpose revenue bonds, series 2026A, tax exempt, and the city of Las Vegas, Nevada, various purpose revenue bonds, series 2026B, taxable, for the purpose of financing building projects. This is proposed by our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Heltze, who's at the mic. Please.
Good morning. Susan Heltze for the record. Yes, the title's fairly self-explanatory. We'd like to move forward with issuing about $90 million in bonds. It's written this way because we're not sure if they're going to be all tax exempt or some taxable, so it's written this way. We're hoping they're all tax exempt, but until we get final wording from our bond counsel, we won't know. We expect to issue either late February or early January.
Thank you very much. And this is a public hearing for anybody who would like to comment. Hearing and seeing none, are there any questions up here?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Helsley, is this for the park bonds that we discussed early on?
Through you, Susan Heltze, CFO. These are not the park bonds. This is the $90 million revenue bond that we're reimbursing ourselves for Civic Plaza across the street.
Okay. Thank
Parks
you.
bonds will come a little bit later.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
If there are no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve agenda item 8.
There's a motion to approve. Please vote. and post. And that item passes. Thank you, Ms. Halsey. And I neglected to say that for items number 5, 2025-41, that item will be heard on the January 21st, 2026 City Council meeting. Item number 6, 2025-42 will be heard on the January 21st, 2026 City Council meeting. Item number 7, 2025-43, that'll be heard on the January 7th, 2026 City Council meeting. And item number 8, 2025-44 will be heard on the January 7th, 2026 City Council meeting. And that brings us to item number 9, which is citizen participation. For anybody who would like to comment, please step forward now and state your name for the record. Hearing and seeing no one, we will close citizen participation and adjourn today's meeting. Thanks, everyone. Welcome back.